Reach Your Happy family. Welcome back to another episode of Reach Your Happy with Laura. So, I'm not really sure what's up today, but one thing I do know is that I'm hearing this a lot lately from clients, and it is that I don't want to bother you, but blah, 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 right? And I just want to remind you that if you've got something you're going through, if you're having a hard time, right? Like all the things that could be that you just need a little help with, people love helping people. It is the most natural thing for us as humans to do. It's how we grew up. It's how our civilization, is that the word? Whatever, you get it. Us as humans have existed for as long as we have by helping one another. That is our bread and butter. It is what makes us feel important in life. So if you are currently struggling with low self-worth or just down in the dumps, the energy right now is real funky. Do yourself a favor and someone else a favor and do something for somebody. Make someone a lunch. Hold the door for someone. Say, you look so lovely today. Phone a friend that you just feel like calling and saying like, hey, I don't really have much to say, but I wanted to see how you're doing. I wanted to check in with you. How's your life? Are you all right? Do you need anything? Need some words of encouragement? Because the most fantastic thing about what I do for a living is helping people. It fills my cup to the tippy top. There's nothing more gratifying to me, to us humans, than being of service, than getting a, wow, thank you so much. Getting thanks from somebody is like, it's, whether it's small or big, it doesn't matter. For someone getting off the table and saying, thank you so much, I'm like, you're so welcome. Thank you so much for showing up. It's beyond, thank you for paying for my service. Yeah, thank you for that too. And thank you for showing up in my experience because I perhaps somehow helped you. That's generally what I do. Or adjusted something for it, right? Like there was a mutual exchange here. You showing up served me, it's serving you. So the next time you think to yourself, I don't want to be a bother to Laura, you're not, ever. And I have really good boundaries. So if I'm not in a space to respond, if you're not booking a session, instead you're sending me a text message or an email or something over Instagram or even YouTube, you're not a bother. You're not. You're a human that has things you may need support with, and that's okay. People sometimes come to sessions and they run down the list of all their complaints and they say, I'm so sorry. All I did was complain here. I'm like, why do you think you're here? To talk about the things you gotta talk about. Why do, some girlfriends of mine, like I talk about my stuff with, because I'm like, all right, I just got to air this out outside of my own brain. And I'm always like, thank you so much. I sometimes even ask with people that I don't know that well, like, is it all right if I share something with you? Are you open to hearing this? But just remember, the next time you think I'm being a burden, well, maybe you're telling the wrong person. Maybe that person isn't in a space to support you at this time or to hold space for you. Because it's not always like, I don't support people. I hold space for people. Come. I am an open channel. I am ready to hear your story, your stuff, and help you navigate your path. And that's what community is all about. And I am one person in this Reach Your Happy community as the facilitator, but energetically, it's a giant tribe of people, a giant community. And the work that I do with one person impacts every other person because every session I get a little tidbit of info or insight that I didn't have before. And the same is true of conversations, of exchanges with other beings. It is so healthy, so important that we don't isolate ourselves. And I think with COVID, that was huge for isolation, but also social media, just the world we live in. We have so much separation, you know, like my sister, if you watched the last video, had a sweet baby girl, and she has other children, she's got her husband, there's people around, but I just think about this newborn phase, like generally speaking, you're the only one going through that. You're the only one feeling the intensity of the hormones, the physical shift, the baby that is reliant on you, and how lonely that must be. And I'm not quite sure what role I play, but the only thing I do know is to check in. That's all I really got. I can give my time, but I can't feed the baby. You know what I mean? There's a balance there. But when in doubt, when you're hurting, when you're low, reach out and say, how can I help you today? You know, give someone a $1 tip on your coffee, or give someone something that doesn't have to be like a physical give, but an emotional give, a compliment, like I said before. And that's all I got for you today. You are not a bother. You are perhaps a catalyst for someone else to speak up about their discomfort or their pain that they're having, that they didn't really feel all that comfortable talking about until you came to them and said, you know, I'm going to do a vulnerable share here. This is what I'm going through. Because I said I was done. You know me. I'm not done. Every person, this is way too short to be done. Every person has something going on in their life. Every person is going through something. And maybe that something is like, I'm just having the best time. It's so fantastic. And I'm kind of worried it's going to end. Right? Like sometimes it looks like that. But know that by you being transparent, you saying how you feel, give someone else the permission on some level to be as they are, to have stuff going on, and to ask for help when they need it. Your friends don't want you to suffer alone. Do they have the full capacity to hold space for you? Maybe not, but you can even just say, if you have a spare moment, I just need to get this off my chest. I need some friend love in my life, or I need, or write a letter to someone, right? Something is better than no thing. And again, by you being vulnerable and being yourself and being transparent, you invite other people to do it. I swear by this, guys, because in my business, obviously, if you've been watching my YouTubes, I'm like, here it is, everything. I don't care, because it's my experience. And if you're going to judge it, like, all right, whatever, it's not your experience. So you can judge it all you want, but it's mine, So if you're afraid to share because, my sister's going to think that, this, people are going to think whatever they want. They're going to think whatever they want, right? I have so many different types of people that I see in my practice, talk to in my practice. And it's all like, oh, okay, interesting. Oh, that's your dynamic. Oh, that's your dilemma. Oh, that's your stuff. Huh. And I just think of it as like every single person comes with an array of stuff to deal with, and your stuff is so different than mine, and who am I to judge you and your experience, because I got my own stuff. I got my own luggage I'm lugging around that I'm dealing with. So I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying I don't pass judgment on people. That would be very unhuman of me, but in session in particular, it's very easy for me to just be this transparent, clear channel. And if you've been in session with me, I'm like, oh, so this happened to me. I will open her right up, because I know if I open up, this was the whole point I was trying to get to. If I open up, it invites you in. If you want to walk through the door and open up too, you can, but you certainly don't have to. The energy work does its thing. But just remembering this, the next time you feel like, it's too vulnerable to talk to my friend about this, I don't want her to judge me, I feel like stupid about this, whatever, just remember, but if she was in this position, would I want her to come to me? Would I want him to come to me? Of course I would. Of course I would. And if your friend or whoever it is passes some massive judgment on you and tells you, you shouldn't be here, you're so stupid, how'd you get into this predicament? Maybe we reassess the friend. Sometimes that's a helpful friend. Sometimes that's just somebody Again, bad space, can't hold space for you, said they could, but really couldn't. But either way, you get feedback. Oh, that was so helpful. Thank you, friend. Or next time I have stuff, I'm not going to go to that one. Note to self. But do not hold it all in. Why are there a bajillion people on the planet? Because we're here for each other. And the separateness of our homes and the different jobs we have and the different families and categories of money that we're in, it's just constructed, you know? There's nothing really that separates my soul from your soul other than our physical bodies and some space. But ultimately at the core, we are the same material. All right, I love you. Take good care. And if you need anything, you just reach out.